Olha a explosão quando ela bate com a bunda no chão, quando ela mexe com a bunda no chão, quando ela joga com a bunda no chão, quando ela sarra e o bumbum no chão, chão, chão.
Hello smart people, Miss H here. This video is for Math 1 students. We are going to continue our lesson 0-4, adding and subtracting rational number. Please go ahead and take out your packet. Yesterday we stopped at problem 7. Add and subtract fraction. So add and subtract fraction like denominator. So what we're going to do is add the numerator. So think about, before we get too far into the problem, I want to remind you what does it mean for the fraction. 3/5 mean that if you have a pizza, you're going to cut into 5 slices. Let's see, how do I draw this? Boom, 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 right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a pizza, you can cut it into 5 pieces. Please excuse my drawing, it's not perfect. So the 3/5 mean that you have 3 slices of pizza out of 5. Okay, and then 1/5 mean you have 1 slice of pizza out of 5 slices. So 3/5 plus 1/5. So basically you have 4 slices in total of the pizza that be cut into 5 pieces. So what you're gonna do is add the numerator and keep the denominator. Plus 3 plus 1 is 4, and keep the denominator is 5 slices. Okay, basically you join them to get 4 slice pizza out of 5 slices. Alright, problem 8, 7/16 minus 7/16. 7 minus 7, which is 0 out of 16. So you have 0 slice of pizza out of 16 slice of pizza, means you have nothing, you have 0, right? Number 9, 4/9 minus 7/9. So we subtract the numerator. 4 minus 7 is -3/9. And always reduce your fraction. Reduce this by 3. That will give us -1/3. So -1/3. Alright, that's it for the example. Go ahead to try this on the back side. Please go ahead and pause the video so you can work out the problem before you continue this video. Alright, I'm about to give you the answer for problem 10 to 12. If you didn't have a chance to pause the video, please do it now. Okay, so continue on this one. We keep the denominator, we add the numerator. So 5 plus 3 will give you 8/11. The problem 11, 11 minus 7, that will give you 4/18. Then we're going to reduce the fraction. 4/18 are even number, so you can reduce it by 2. That will give you 2/9. That's it. Number 12, 3 minus 5, that will give you -2. Keep the denominator, which is 8. Which 2/8 are even numbers, so you can reduce it by 2 again. So reduce it by 2. That will give you -1/4. That it. Okay, so now we're gonna go down to the next example, problem 13 through 15. So now we add 2 fractions that don't have the same denominator anymore. So how do we do it? So first, look back to the problem. What is 1/2 plus 2/3? Right? So 1/2 mean that you have a pizza, you cut it in half. Okay, and then you combine with the pizza that have 3 slices, and you have 2 slices out of 3 slices. You have this slice and this slice, and 1/2 you have this much. So how do you add 2 pizza that don't have the same size of slice of pizza, or who don't have the same size? So what we're gonna do is we need to find the least common denominator, which we have been practicing. So least common denominator here would be 6. Now if you go in depth, what is least common denominator? So which I explained to you last time. So the multiple of 2 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, so on and so forth. The multiple of 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, so on and so forth. So just by looking at this one, you have the common multiple is 6, and also 12, and many more if you keep going. So the least common number here is 6. That's why the LCD will be 6. So to add two fractions, we need to get the same denominator, like the last problem. When you add two fractions who has the same denominator, you only add the numerator. So 2 to get 6, you're going to multiply by 3 for top and bottom. When you multiply denominator by a number, you have to do the same on top, so which will balance out the fraction. So that will give you 3, 6 plus second fraction. To get the denominator is 6, you need to multiply 2, right? 3 times 2, which is 6. 2 times 2, which is 4. So 3 over 6 plus 4 over 6, that will give you 7 over 6. Now looking at the picture, so 1/2 is half of this half slice of pizza. When you multiply by 3, which means that you cut that slice into 3 parts. You cut half into 3 parts. You do the same here. So by doing that, you get 1, 2, 3 slices out of 6. See, when you multiply by 3, you get 3, 6, which is equivalent to 1/2. And in the picture, this is how it looked like. Now 2/3 you multiply by 2, which means every slice you will cut it in half. Cut, cut, cut. So in that case, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 slices of pizza out of 6 slices that we cut it out. So both pizza now has 6 slices to make one whole. So therefore, 3 slices here plus 4 slices here, that give you 7 over 6. Or in this case, it's 3, 6 plus 4, 6 is 7, 6. Okay, so that's the idea why we need to find the least common denominator. So basically, we want to cut out pizza into equal parts on both. We want to cut both pizza in the same size, which is in this case is 6 slices. Alright, so that we have that idea in mind, so we're going to move forward without drawing pictures anymore. 3, 8 and 1/3. So your LCD will be 24. So you multiply the first fraction by 3, second fraction by 8, right? Basically we do cross multiply. So 3 times 3 is 9 over 3 times 8 is 24 minus 1 times 8 is 8. 3 times 8 is 24. 9 over 24 minus 8 over 24. That will give you 1 over 24. Problem 15. So 2/5 minus 3/4. So we need the same denominator. So LCD will be 20, right? So first fraction you multiply by 4. Second fraction you multiply by 5 to get least common denominator 20. So that will be 8 over 20 minus 15 over 20. So that will give us 8 minus 15 is negative 7 over 20. And you cannot reduce this fraction, so that will be your answer. Alright, go ahead and pause the video for a few minutes. Maybe I would say 5 to 10 minutes. Try out problems 16, 17, and 18. Alright, I hope you have a chance to pause the video. I'm about to give you the answer for 16 through 18. Alright, LCD for this problem, if you say 50, which is not the least common denominator, which is the common denominator but not the least. The least common denominator here is 10. Okay, if you use 50, you will have the same answer, but make sure you reduce your fraction. So 5 to get 10. You multiply 2 for numerator and denominator, so that will give you 8 over 10. And 7, 10. 10 to get 10, basically you multiply by 1, or basically keep it the same way. So that will be 7 over 10. 8, 10 plus 7, 10. That will give you 15 over 10, which can be reduced by 5. That will give you, what, 3/2? Some of you may go further. You would put 1 and 1/2. That will be fine too. Number 17. The LCD will be 18, right? Because 6 can go into 18. 6 times 3 will give you 18. So multiply the numerator and denominator by 3. That will give you 15 over 18 minus 5 over 18. And we can subtract them. That will give you 10 over 18. And reduce it by 5. Oh, sorry, my bad. Reduce it by 2. That will give you 5 over 9. Number 18. So the LCD will be, if you say 40, you close. That is the common denominator. The LCD, the least common denominator, is 20. So you're going to multiply the first fraction by 2. That will give you 6 over 20. The second fraction, you're going to multiply by 5. Okay, so that will give us, what, 15 over 20. 6 minus 15, so that will be negative. 4, 9, negative 9 over 20. Alright, you cannot reduce this fraction. That will be the answer. But again, you may pick the different denominator, which is common denominator but not the least. So your answer will be a bigger number, which you can reduce to get the same answer like all the answer that I gave you. So do not give up, do not erase everything and start over. Figure it out, reduce your fraction. Oh, if you want to do this way, go for it, whichever you prefer to do. Alright, last one. Add and subtract denominator, decimal numbers. So first, positive times negative is negative. 2.5 minus 3.5. So you subtract the decimal number. So you're going to do is line them up. 3.5 minus 2.5. I put the bigger number on top. You're going to line up the decimal point. Right? 5 minus 5 is 0. 3 minus 2, which is 1. Basically 1.0. So, which is 1. Right? But since the negative sign belongs to the larger number, your answer will be negative 1. Same sign, add them up, different sign, subtract. Keep the sign of the larger number, and you be exact. So in this case, the larger number is negative 3/5, which is negative, so that's why we keep negative sign. Number 20. Negative times negative is positive, so 79.3 plus 14. 79.3 plus 14.0. So we line up the decimal point. 3 plus 0 is 3. 9 plus 4 is 13. Remember 1. And then 7 plus 1 plus 1 will give you 9. So the answer is 93.3. Alright guys, pause the video and try the last two problems. Alright, our last two problems. Negative 1.25 plus 1.5, right? So negative 1.25 plus 1.5. So we do the same strategy, same sign, add them up, different sign, subtract. So they're different sign, so you're going to put the bigger number on top. 1.5 minus 1.25. So what we're going to do is put the 0 after the 5. So borrow 0 cannot take away 5. You're going to borrow 1 from the 5. So that will give you 4. This is going to be 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So which is 0.25. Same sign, add them up. Different sign, subtract. Keep the sign of the larger number. So 1.25 and 1.5. Larger number is 1.5. So that's going to be positive. Alright, last problem. Negative times negative is positive. So 49.8 plus 27.4. 49.8 plus 27.4. So you line up the decimal point. 8 plus 4 will give you 12. Remember 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 7 is 17. So remember 1. 4 plus 1 plus 2, that will give you 7. So the answer is 77.2. Alright, so that's it for today's lesson. Please take 5 to 10 minutes, write down the summary for yourself. What did you learn today, or from today and tomorrow, today and yesterday? Write down at least 3 things that you learned, okay? And please explain in detail, like what did you do, how do you do it, how do you add a like fraction, like denominator fraction, and unlike denominator fraction, for example. You have to explain in detail how do you do it, how do you add decimal numbers, okay? Alright, so that's it for today. If you have extra time, you got to work on your assignment number 1, which is the last page on your packet. I believe it's blue paper. I may be wrong, but it's going to be the last page. You should see the assignment 1 as the title of that assignment. Alright guys, see you tomorrow. And I'm sorry, my voice changing a lot. I don't know, for some reason I sneezed a lot. Hopefully I'm going to feel better tomorrow. Alright, bye guys.